Pakistan is a land full of chaos, with predominantly poor population and minority that is even wealthier than the entire government. It is a violent country that has never known peace since its inception. Scientists selling atomic bomb secrets, invaders and serial child abusers are just some of the disturbing elements found there. This country is home to both truth and lies, slaves, mysterious organizations, and cats. It's a place where people live as men by day and as women by night. Whatever you're looking for, you will find in Pakistan, officially known as the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Pakistan was established in 1947 by Muslims in British-ruled India. Since then, it has never experienced peace in any domain. Political assassinations have become a routine occurrence in this country. With a population of 220 million, Pakistan is not only the fifth most populous country in the world today, but also the first and only Islamic country with nuclear weapons. The country has a complex and chaotic society, where over 60 languages are spoken among its people, and the official languages are English and Urdu. However, Pakistan can be best described as a land of contradictions. Although it boasts in one of the world's strongest armies, its people rank at the bottom in terms of literacy and academic education. According to United Nations research, only 48% of the population is literate. A 2017 UNICEF report revealed that half of the children in Pakistan do not attend school, 22 million out of 51 million children. These children often start working on farms or markets before the age of 7, a situation primarily driven by the government's lack of support for families with children and widespread poverty. One of the reasons for the low literacy rate in Pakistan is the social belief among the relatively religiously conservative population that sending girls to school is a grave sin. Between 2007 and 2015, 867 attacks on a school in Pakistan resulted in death of 492 innocent children. Although the Pakistani government has made significant efforts to pave the way for children's education, it still faces a long road ahead in dealing with fundamentalist groups that oppose education. Another major factor contributing to this backwardness is the lack of educational justice in the country. For example, while British Cambridge-affiliated schools offer a high-quality curriculum, Pakistan's public school, which can also be called local schools, cannot compete in terms of educational quality and have significantly lower standards. In simple terms, the elite class that had led Pakistan's army to nuclear power and introduced numerous scientists to the global academic community has been entirely educated in these Western-style schools in Pakistan. Meanwhile, the rest of the children are forced to attend public schools, with a significant portion enrolled in a religious school. Amidst this religious extremism, it's interesting to note that there is a public school for transgender individuals in the city of Multan, where these marginalized and at-risk people continue their education. On one hand, there are religious schools, on the other, international and foreign schools, and on the other, schools for transgender people. It's no wonder Pakistan is called the land of contradictions. In Pakistan, religious schools are also considered official educational institutions, and these schools are birthplace of one of the world's most dangerous fundamentalist groups. The Taliban, which was widely supported by the Pakistani government in these religious schools, later turned their weapon against Pakistan, carrying out the deadliest terrorist attack in the country's history in 2014 by attacking an army-affiliated school and massacring 149 people. Now, let's get a closer look at life in Pakistan. Suppose you were born as a man in Pakistan, you would have 5 times more chance of living a comfortable life in the future. Due to the shared historical past of Pakistan and India, many of the subcontinent cultures and customs are common in Pakistan as well. One of the main ones being the tradition of marriage. Unlike many third world and developing countries, where the entire burden of marriage and married life falls on the man, in Pakistan, demanding dowries or bride prices is considered an insult to the bride's family. As a result, as mentioned earlier, being a man in Pakistan has its advantages, because in addition to marrying the girl of your dreams, you can become a wealthy individual thanks to the dowry you receive. When we say dowry, don't think of household items and the like. We're talking about land, money, gold, cars, and houses that the bride's family gives you upon marriage. In simple terms, the better the bride's family's financial situation, the more the dowry becomes a substantial wealth for the groom. Of course, this is the good part of the story. Things get strange when you learn that before the wedding, the groom is subjected to the worst and most insulting verbal abuse. This old tradition is meant to test the groom's patience in facing life challenges and his behavior towards their daughter. You might wonder what happens if the bride's family is poor. In this case, just like in India, the caste system comes into play in Pakistan. The caste system still plays a serious role in the country's social order. So, a poor girl has no choice but to marry a poor man from the same social class. Another problem with being a woman in Pakistan is that the country has one of the highest rates of sexual harassments in the world. It's almost impossible for women to leave the house alone and not face verbal harassment or sexual assault multiple times throughout the day. Sometimes this situation escalates to group harassment. For example, on August 14, 2021, during Pakistan's Independence Day celebration in Lahore, a woman was harassed by 400 men, which drew widespread attention in global media. However, this harassment and sexual assault are not limited to women in this country. In a shameful tradition which has historical roots in Central Asia, underage boys are sexually abused by older men. This tradition still exists in large part of Afghanistan, northern Pakistan, and to some extent, the border areas of this country. In addition to this, another horrifying tradition known as wani exists in Pakistan. This custom, which emerged 400 years ago to end tribal feuds in Pakistan, involves young girls being given as compensation and blood money to the affected tribe and being enslaved. Although the governments of Pakistan and Afghanistan have done much to eradicate these two horrific traditions, the powerful and influential opposition forces have made these efforts largely unsuccessful. In 1973, Pakistan adopted a new constitution that required all laws to be in accordance with the Quran and Sunnah, leading to a ban on alcohol consumption and related entertainments in the country. However, as you might guess, these laws are only enforceable for the poor class, as Pakistan's wealthy can bypass any law. Pakistan's biggest rival is India, its neighboring country. Throughout history, relations between these two countries have always been on a knife's edge due to unresolved border disputes, leading to a strange and interesting tradition: the Waqah border ceremony. This ceremony of retreating from the battle to display the power of both countries takes place daily just before sunset, with military parades from both Indian and Pakistani armies. This ceremonial power display somewhat alleviates the tension and anger between the two countries on the brink of war. The flag ceremony, which began in 1959 to strengthen cooperation and brotherhood between Pakistan and India, has now become a show of national pride and a friendly competition. If any soldier from either country falls or fails to perform as expected during the ceremony, they are ridiculed by the opposing side's supporters. Watching this ceremony attracts many visitors from both sides of the border, as well as international tourists. And if you ever find yourself in Pakistan or India, don't miss the chance to see it. However, these ceremonial displays are just the innocent facade of long-standing rivalry between these two countries. The real rivalry takes place behind the scenes and cannot be ignored. This rivalry can extend from banning of Bollywood films in Pakistan to labeling people as spies in both countries and the race to develop nuclear weapons and missiles. Which country do you think has the most polluted city in the world? China or India? Neither. Lahore, Pakistan is considered the dirtiest and most polluted city in the world. If you walk around the city for a while, not only will you struggle to breathe, but your body and your clothes will be completely covered in dust and smoke. It's no surprise that lung cancer, heart disease, and respiratory illnesses are the most common cause of death in the city. According to the World Health Organization's 2018 report, 138,000 deaths in Lahore in a single year were due to these three diseases. Just like in India, personal and environmental hygiene is a major problem in Pakistan. Apart from the well-known urban and political centers in the capital Islamabad, other parts of the country, even in big cities, are filled with garbage, and the air you breathe is anything but oxygen. If there is a river or canal in the city, it means that sewage is flowing through it, and people bath in this water, wash their clothes, and swim in it for fun and cooling off. However, one of the most mysterious tribes in history lives in this country, the Kalash. They are considered the purest Aryan people, or according to another belief, the lost tribe of Alexander the Great. Yes, you heard correctly. The Kalash tribe, which today numbers less than 4,000 people, has distinct physical features, beliefs, and traditions that are very different from the rest of the region's people. It is believed that they are descendants of Alexander the Great's army, which marched through the region before the birth of Christ to conquer Asia. The extremist Muslims of the region label this tribe as infidels due to their adherence to historical and ancient beliefs, calling their era Kafiristan, land of infidels. Over the years, they have faced significant violence as attempts were made to convert them to Islam. In Pakistan, any place can serve as a workplace for a barber or dentist. These itinerant professionals set up their stalls in different places each day, offering services mainly to the poor and low-income segment of society. It is important to note that hygiene is often a low priority in this country. The art of barbering in Pakistan is not just for humans. The grooming of camels, which can be considered one of the strangest jobs in the world, is still prevalent in this country. Camels with beautifully styled hair are quickly sought in rural areas, boosting this art and profession in Pakistan. Although camels are no longer used for transportation as they once were, this innate passion among Pakistan for decorating their vehicles has shifted from camels to trucks and minibuses. As a result, a truck bought by a Pakistani goes through several months of decorative and painting process before hitting the road, leading to streets and highways of the country being filled with giant monsters from video games. Pakistan's caste system divides its population into several different social classes. However, the situation in Pakistan is somewhat different from India. Although the Pakistani government claims that their caste system, rooted in their Islamic beliefs and laws, does not have the same flaws and issues as India's caste system. A simple observation of the daily life of Pakistani person proves this statement entirely wrong. In 2009, a report submitted to the UN Committee on the Elimination of Radical Discrimination revealed that Pakistan is one of the few countries where slavery in form of forced labor without wages still exists. Pakistani officials believe that their caste system, known as Qawm, plays a significant role in their social identity, and international human rights organizations have no right to intervene or question it. In this caste system, the most powerful social class is the landowners, from whom the most government officials and leaders emerge. Across the country, there are large wealthy families, and almost all the leaders who have ruled Pakistan have come from these landowning families. Pakistan officially became the first Muslim country with nuclear power and atomic bomb in 1980 and launched its first satellite into space in 1990. This country has also one of the world's most powerful armies, and according to Western intelligence agencies, the best spy and intelligence service, ISI. However, despite all its military and technological capabilities, a significant portion of Pakistan's population lives in absolute poverty, primarily due to political instability and lack of unity among the people. Interestingly, no prime minister in the country's history has ever completed a 5-year term. In the most recent case in 2022, Imran Khan, the charismatic leader who had recently been named Asian Statesman of the Year, was ousted. This former cricketer and captain, who came to power in 2018 with the support of the country's youth and university-educated population, promising to change the status and elimination the classic politicians who considered the state and country their family inheritance, eventually saw his honesty and capabilities questioned. Imran Khan had made many promises, but he could not fulfill most of them. For example, he had promised to eradicate corruption within 120 days and to make the National Audit Office independent from the government. But that never happened. Another promise was to combat currency smuggling and money laundering, which saw no progress during his 4 years in office. It later emerged that some members of Imran Khan's own party were behind artificial price hikes in basic food items. The dire economic situation and rising inflation led to a gradual decline in public support for him. He attributed all this protest to an American plan to overthrow him and harm Pakistan. However, no one in the country forget that in 2014, he had led similar upsprings and protests against the previous government with the support of Pakistani cleric living in Canada named Muhammad Tahir al-Qadri, and he had supported a military coup in the country. Eventually, Imran Khan was ousted by parliament after failing to win the public's favor. On October 21, 2022, Pakistan's Election Commission banned Imran Khan from running for office for 5 years due to illegal sale of official gifts received from foreign leaders. The weak economy and poor living standards in Pakistan have led to the country's youth to join one of the largest waves of migration to Europe. These young people, along with Afghan youth, travel illegally through Iran to Turkey, and due to the closure of Europe's borders, many remain in Turkey or return to Iran or their own country. In summary, Pakistan can be considered a country of chaos and contradiction. On one side are the educated and wealthy elite, completely disconnected from the rest of the country, and on the other are religious fundamentalists trying to spread their beliefs. In between these two groups is the middle class, striving to escape the country and its current situation. Thanks for being with me till the end of the video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and also press the notification bell. See you all in the next video. Bye!